This is a demonstration of the TCS POS Apply Credits add-on feature. So firstly, if we look at our customer, we've got a customer without an account, and we've got two things checked on their account. One, we're allowed to apply credits to their sale, and two, this customer is not allowed to have account sales, so normally they would have to pay. So if we add their account, and go to pay for something, you'll see that they have to pay. We don't see the on account button anywhere. But let's start by creating a credit for this customer. So we'll just do a return without invoice. And we'll put it to credit member. And you see this time we do have that on account button. Whereas if the customer didn't have an account, we might give them a refund. So now if we call up the same customer, we'll see they've got a credit balance for that $330. And if we refresh back here in NetSuite, look at their financial tab, you'll see that's the overall balance on their account. So if we start a new sale, when I go to pay, I owe $1,100. And you see I've got the option here to apply the credits. Select that, and it adds the credit and reduces my amount due. So now I can pay the balance, and I can still have multiple payments there. And what we'll do is create an invoice with the payment attached for $770 and a credit, apply that credit for $330. So if we come back and look at that credit, so the invoice is paid in full, there's nothing owing. And on our related records here, you see we've got the payment and the credit note. And if we look back at that customer, they no longer have a balance. So if we look at a customer with an account, so this one has a balance of 220 negative, but you see they've got a couple of transactions. So on their transactions, open transactions, they've got a credit memo for actually 330 and an open invoice for 110. So that overall balance, of course, is the difference between the two. Now, if we look at the checkboxes, they are also allowed to apply the credits to sales, but this time you can't see. They're also allowed to do account payments. So when we call the customer up, we see their account balance. So we don't need to know ahead of time whether this customer or anyone with that apply credits checkbox has a credit note. It will appear here to tell us. Okay, so we've got a payment of 361. And again, I can apply the credits, but this time I can leave that balance instead of paying because they've got an account. I can leave it on account. So each time we do a sale for these customers, we are getting prompted that they have an open credit sitting with us. And if they did have other open invoices like this customer did, of course, we'll only see the overall credit for them. Or if you've got account customers, you might leave that turned off altogether. So we'll have a look at that invoice. Okay, so the invoice is open because we put it on account and it's open for the balance owing. On our related records, we can see the credit memo is applied for the 220. And if we have a look back at that customer record, their balance is the 141 for the new invoice. But you'll see again, they've got some other things open. So when we look at their transactions, or their open transactions, you see the credit note is still open. And the amount remaining here is $110, which is the same as the amount owing on the other invoices. So we can take that credit and apply it to our new sale, but only for the value that isn't already owing for something else. So next time they make a payment, the credit could be applied to that invoice if they're doing an account payment there. So it's an add-on feature. And in terms of setup, we've got the new checkbox. The prevent account sales is a standard feature, but would typically be used in conjunction, or you might have something else in your account doing that for you. And if we just take a look at the settings, there's two settings that also need to be enabled. The first is to allow on-account sales, and the second to allow account credits. And once again, they're just standard features.